right, live from 48th and 6th Avenue, Kellyanne Conway, Donald Trump's brand new campaign manager, been in the job for a week, joins us live. How's the new job working out?
It's fabulous, actually. We have a very buoyant candidate. He's got a full schedule of events and speeches and meetings this week all across the country. And as you see, we're on message, we're on task. Had a great call last night with our 50 state directors, which is a very important thing to me. I'm a big retail politics fan, Steve. I think you build things from the bottom up, so I want to make sure that they have everything they need to get us to victory.
Kellyanne, the other thing you were going to do this week is unveil your immigration policy like you've been doing. You decided to put that on hold and canceled some events. What went into that?
So one event was canceled in Colorado, Brian. We inherited this schedule, and although I think it's a great idea to have that kind of speech and certainly put together a full plan, immigration is such a complex issue, and Mr. Trump has been taking the counsel of many different people on this. He obviously has some very strong feelings and policy prescriptions with respect to immigration, but he's speaking to people to understand how to execute on those ideas.
Is he changing his approach? Because someone said a year ago he talked about a deportation force, and maybe now it's changed a little. Has it changed?
No, here's how I would describe it. And I sat in that meeting on Saturday that's getting all the tension. I think it's been reported and distorted a bit based on somebody who was in the room. He has said exactly the same thing all along. Let's enforce the law. And if you enforce the law, a lot of good things start happening with respect to deporting people who have committed crimes and certainly protecting American workers. Many American workers now feel like they are competing with illegal immigrants as well as people in factories in Mexico or China or robots somewhere else. And so we want to be fair to everyone. I think the conversation about immigration that he would like to have is the one that talks about fairness to everyone, not just fairness to the 11 million, which is the way the left always characterizes it, but fairness to the American workers, fairness to our communities, fairness to our law enforcement, fairness to employers also. Should they be asked to do more than just sign up for E-Verify and wash their hands clean of that type of enforcement? The other thing is we think on immigration, there are very few issues where Hillary is actually even to the left of Barack Obama. Her plans are so radical. In some estimates, she would allow millions and millions of new illegal immigrants over the next several years. And she has also shown a liking to the executive order approach to amnesty, and so she's also broadcasting now she has no interest in working with the Congress on such an important issue.
Kellyanne, staying on the topic of immigration, Donald Trump was on Bill O'Reilly's show. Let's take a listen to a soundbite, what he said about immigration, and then we'll get your reaction.
Thank you.
We're going to obey the existing laws. Now, the existing laws are very strong. The existing laws, the first thing we're going to do, if and when I win, is we're going to get rid of all of the bad ones. We got gang members, we have killers, we have a lot of bad people that have to get out of this country. We're going to get them out, and the police know who they are. They're known by law enforcement who they are. We don't do anything. They go around killing people and hurting people, and they're going to be out of this country so fast your head will spin. We have existing laws that allow you to do that. As far as everybody else, we're going to go through the process.
What will that process be?
For the 11 million that are here and have not committed any crimes.
And that's what we're discussing, because obviously it's a very complex issue. I don't think you can put it in a soundbite or rush through a speech, let alone a plan. But I can tell you public opinion-wise two things that catch our eye, Ainsley. One is many Americans feel like it's become easier for illegal immigrants to get here and more difficult for legal immigrants to get here. They know that there's a process. We're taught to stand in line at a very young age. That seems like a reasonable cost of admission to folks. Number two, when Mr. Trump says, let's enforce the laws, you may say, yeah, but we've heard that before. No. It's such a novel concept to people in Washington. They always want to layer more laws, and public opinion shows that the vast majority of Americans want to enforce the laws and not just add more laws.
Before you go, because one of the things he talked about yesterday was a special prosecutor expedited series of events.
For Hillary Clinton.
Right, exactly. For the people looking in, why is this such a big deal?
It's a big deal, Steve, because even for those who have sort of, quote, moved on from the email server, that's already baked in the 11% of Americans who say she's an honest and trustworthy number. But it's important for people to realize this is exactly what he's talking about, a system that benefits the insiders, that's rigged and corrupt, and also government that doesn't work for us. What in the world are people at the State Department doing? Doing all these special favors. I see the spin from the left this morning. It's that there's no evidence that she granted favors, just access. In Washington, D.C., access is the biggest favor you can possibly have. And look, you're the State Department. You should be busy getting women and young girls rights and respect and education and health care and dignity across this globe. Not worried about, the Prince of Bahrain. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.